Hey guys, so we are going to take a look at how to add a CSS sheet as well as some basic CSS elements. The very first thing that you need to do when you want to add a CSS sheet is right here. It says add a CSS sheet. You click that. Now I've already done that, so I have a style sheet already here. The next thing I need to do is to make sure that my HTML can talk to my CSS so that the style elements appear on the sheet. In order to do that, I am going to add this code. Link space REL equals quote style sheet end quote space href equals quote style.css. Now notice style.css is just the name of my style sheet. If I'd named this bob.css, then the word bob.css would be right here. So now these two sheets should be able to talk to each other. Well, it doesn't look like anything happened. Well, that's because I don't have anything yet. Notice I put the link up between the two head tags. That's where it belongs. All right, so let's say for my web page, I wanted to have a web page all about dogs. And I'm going to use a heading 1 because that is the main title of my page. So heading 1, and I'm going to call this dogs. And I'm going to close my heading 1. Okay, oops, wrong. There we go. And now it appears. And actually, I'm going to capitalize that because that just looks better. Okay, and now I am going to say something about a paragraph. Let's say I like dogs, right? So paragraph, HTML. I'm still in HTML right now. I like dogs. And I'm going to close my paragraph. Oops. Oops. All right, so that are, I mean, and obviously this is going to be as complex or as simple as you want it to be. It's not a big deal. All right, so now I'm going to go to my style sheet. I want to change, let's say, the color of my heading. Let's say I want that to be red. All right, so how are we going to do this? First of all, remember this right here. And again, you can always use your inspector for this. That is H1. So on the style sheet, we are going to pull up our selector, which is H1. What I've just said is I want to make changes to heading 1. I am going to open a curly bracket. And I just like to put my opening and closing there just because that's just something I learned to do. You don't have to. So what do I want to change about this? Let's say I want to change the color. I'm going to type the word color, colon, that's the two dots, one on top of the other. And now it's going to give me a list of colors. Let's say I want to change this just to blue. It's okay. Now, if I wanted to change something else about my heading, I would put a colon. And just to keep my code clean, I'm going to hit the Enter key. Now, maybe I want to change whatever. Let's say the font alignment or font size. Then we'll go font size. And I'm going to change it from whatever it currently is. I want to change it all the way up to 50 px. And notice how it got bigger. Now that's all I want to change about my heading. So now I'm already closed. And now I want to change something about my paragraph. Again, you're going to go a selector P. So what that's telling is my paragraphs are going to have these changes to them. And again, you're going to go with your curly brackets. And you always are going to put your code between the curly brackets. All right, so what do I want to change about the paragraph? Well, let's say I want to change the color of my font. I can go color, and you can obviously see all of these selections that are coming up. These are all style choices you can make. Color, let's say I want it to be red, semicolon. Notice it changed. I want to align text align, and I want it to be centered. Notice how it jumped to center, and semicolon. And what else do I want to change? Well, let's change the size, right? Let's go font size, colon, and then I'm going to go with, let's say, 25 px. Yeah, it's not really big. Let's go with 40 px. There it goes. Okay. Those are some basic ways of making style changes. There's hundreds of other different style changes you could make, but just again, the very basic way of creating the link to make these two talk to each other, and then some style elements that you can create. Hope this helps. Have a good one.